everybody to the Single and Stiletto Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show Des O'Connor, and he's a relationship coach and success mentor based in London. And I'm so excited to have him here today because today we're talking about, this is the number one question I get from women all the time, and I know Des gets this question too, is how and where to meet men. And he's going to give us his best tips coming from a man's point of view. But before we jump into it, Des, please tell our audience a little bit about you.
Hi there, everybody. My name's Des O'Connor, and I work with single professional women, and I help them to find and attract the right man into their life very quickly, effortlessly, and very, very, very confidently, providing them with tips on how they can do that. And that's basically what I do. I've had loads of weddings, loads of engagements. Even last year, I was at a wedding and I was the only person there that made a speech at the wedding. And I work with the women that want to take action.
Awesome. Well, my ladies in my audience want to take action, which is why I'm having you on the show. So, Des, let's jump into it. So, give us your best tips on how and where women can meet some men.
Well, one of the first tips women need to understand is that you need to take advantage of the opportunities that are surrounding you on a daily basis. Whether it's on the truck, whether it's on the transport, whether it's when you're out shopping, when you're in your car, when you're walking along the street. I mean, I ran a seminar the other day and I was showing women how by simply dropping something in front of a man walking towards you, he'll stop you, pick it up and say, "Excuse me, you've dropped this." That strikes a conversation. So, you know, women always meet men every day. And I know there's women that have met thousands of men that they see on a regular basis and they just want that one man to approach her. And there's so many simple things that they can do that. Now, one of the things that I work with women is when I ask them the question, where do most men hang out? Well, one of the most top popular places are sports events. Now, one of the things that I find with women that say that are quite tall, usually 5'8", that wear heels, is they say to me, "I keep attracting men that are shorter than me." Well, you are going to do that because most men love women that are taller than them, and it's a challenge, so they're going to go for that. But where are you going to meet men that are, for example, on the same height as you or taller? There's only one place that you're going to find men that are taller than you, and that's at basketball matches, because basketball players go to watch the games. And I had women say to me, "Well, I don't like basketball." Well, sorry, it's not about what you like, it's what you're going there to try to achieve. It's not about, it doesn't even matter if you don't understand how, you know, the scores or anything like that and the rules of the game. You go there looking very, very nice. One, you're going to stand out so much more than other women because there's not going to be a lot of women there. Secondly, the men will see you and most definitely approach you because you'll stand out like a sore thumb. And that goes the same to show for when there's a sports event happening, where there's a big game on, whether it's being shown in a wine bar, or whether it's in a pub or in a club or wherever that is. I guarantee you, if that's a sports event that most men are going to be there, you will be the minority in that environment, and you will stand out like a sore thumb, and men will approach you all night, and you will have so many dates to choose from. You'll be spoiled for choice for doing that. Another area that you can go and find out where most men are going to be is men's clothes and shoe shops as well. Men are going to be in there because they're going there to buy clothes and shoes for themselves. So what you need is a plan and a strategy on how to strike a subtle conversation with a man in that environment. Now, it could be you could say to him, "Excuse me, I'm trying to buy a pair of these," what do you call trainers in the States? Sneakers?
Yeah, sneakers or running shoes or tennis shoes. Mm-hmm.
So you could say, "I'm trying to buy a pair of these for my nephew. Could you advise me on which is the best brand, because I don't know, I don't really understand that." He's gonna, remember, we like to protect and provide for you and look after you. So he's gonna share that with you. But if you keep doing that with the men that you like the look of, not only is that going to build your confidence, it's going to build your communication with men to the point where it becomes automatic. And in the beginning, it may feel a bit uncomfortable, but you're going to be what you're going to be doing is increasing your chances of finding a men, because you're going to be surrounding yourself in the environment where the men are going to be there as well.
I completely agree. And I actually wrote an ebook on this, on how and where to meet men. And you and I are in complete agreement with everything that you just said. And I want to highlight some of the things that Des said that I want women to understand. Number one is Des is absolutely right. You need to look at meeting men as not like, oh, I go out on Friday nights and I'm going to try and meet men that night. He's absolutely right. It needs to be every day, wherever you're at. You need to open yourself up, because then you're more likely to meet a man. The other thing that I will say, because Des, you brought this up, is that about going to a basketball game, right? Is if a woman says, well, I don't like basketball, because I've heard women say this too, because one of the tips that I give is go to scotch bars, because more men drink scotch, less women drink scotch. So you're stacking the odds in your favor. And whenever I tell that tip to women, some women will say, but I don't like scotch. And I'm like, you're missing the point. We're trying to meet men. You want to go where men are. So I also say to women that I get it. If you don't like scotch, I didn't like scotch. I actually found a scotch that I like because I went to a scotch tasting. And when Des talked about, asking a question and things like that, you have to open the door. And he's absolutely right. It may feel uncomfortable at first. And even if you're shy, you can do this. And I will tell you why. And if you've been following me for a while, you know this about me. I used to be super shy when I was younger. And I was so shy, I couldn't even look at people in the eye, let alone speak to them. I am not shy anymore. And I can go up and talk to anybody, ask them a question. But it's only because, like Des said, I practiced. And you have to take yourself out of your comfort zone and start opening the door to men.
That's right. And what, for example, when there was a big boxing match on the other day, I can't remember who was fighting. And I remember looking in the room, and there must have been 90% men and 10% women in there. And these women were sitting at the front, and they had so many men around them after the fight. And I agree, and I totally agree with you. What's happening is women's belief systems are preventing them from taking action. So because it's preventing them from taking action, they're not going to get any results, Suzanne, because their belief system is saying, I don't want to come across as needy. I don't want to come across as desperate. Those kind of disempowering beliefs and thoughts is going to discourage you from approaching men. If you're lost and you want to find where the nearest station is or a certain building, if a man is walking towards you and he's looking fine, you're just going to ask him, excuse me, can you tell me where X is? So try and apply that when have fun with it. Don't give it any meaning, because most clued up men are going to pick up that you're shy and you're nervous. Just be relaxed and just be yourself, because we love those types of women, because we never usually get women that approach us. Very rarely do we do that, especially the shy men.
Well, and that is very true. And one of the things that I want to bring up is, ladies, stop putting so much emphasis on, I want to meet that man because he's gorgeous and he looks like the type of man I'd like to date, because that's going to make you more nervous than nervous. I want you to start talking to all men in general. Because then when it comes to the good-looking guy that you really want to date, you're going to be less nervous, because you're going to be so used to talking to all men. It's just going to be like, oh, I talk to men all the time. I can ask them a question or whatever. But it makes it so much easier.
Definitely. And she's more confident as well. And she sends out that energy that draws men to her without her even realizing it. When somebody walks into a room and they light it up, that type of energy there.
Yeah, that is very true. One of the things that I do, and I will tell you, it's a winner all the time, but you have to get comfortable doing this, because I wasn't comfortable doing it before, but now it comes so naturally. I can do it to anybody. I actually compliment men all the time. And not just men that I'm interested in, it's men in general, and I compliment them. Like let's just say, Des, I saw you out tonight, and I would say, Des, not Des, because I wouldn't know you, right? But I might say to you, blue's a great color on you, it really brings out your eyes, or something like that.
Thank you.
See? And he would do that because
love
men love compliments and women don't realize that. But you could compliment them on, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, I've complimented on their shoes, on their tie, because I love men with great creative ties. It's one of those things that you just have to get over, and you can do, right, ladies?
And you can ask him that question and say, "Oh, well, I'm interested in buying that for my nephew or my brother as a present." "Oh, where'd you get your shoes from? They look absolutely great. Where did you get them from? Did you get them from Amazon, or what shoe shop did you get them from?" And then he would tell you, and that strikes a conversation.
Exactly. Well, these have been some great tips. So, Des, tell our audience how they can find you.
That you can find me from www.icanfindyouTheRightMan.com. icanfindyouTheRightMan.com, which is the name of my up-and-coming book, which is coming out in June. Just search my name, Des O'Connor, DesOconnor, on Facebook. I've got a page on there, and I'm always providing so many fantastic tips and discussions on there as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining us on the Single and Stiletto Show. Our show is available both in video format and podcast format. If you'd like to view the videos, you can go to singleandstilettos.com. If you'd like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes.